Trump using his authority under the Home Rule Act to take control of D.C. police in a bid to crack down on crime. Just moments ago, D.C.'s mayor and police chief reacted to the president's historic announcement.
Yeah, so a lot to unpack here. News 4's Mark Segraves has been following these developments all day. He's joining us live from the press room at the Wilson Building with the latest. Mark, what was your biggest takeaway from the mayor just now?
Well, from the mayor, it is the disconnect, the complete disconnect between how the mayor is portraying this and the chief of police and how the president of the United States is portraying this. The mayor really trying to soften this blow and repeatedly saying that that she's going to cooperate, they're going to follow the law, and this will help them to collaborate with their federal partners. A stark contrast to what President Trump said this morning about taking over the D.C. Police Department and crime, in his words, being out of control in Washington, D.C. Take a listen to a couple of the things that the president said this morning in his press conference.
So today we're declaring public safety emergency in the District of Columbia, and Attorney General Pam Bondi, who's fantastic, is taking command of the Metropolitan Police Department as of this moment. This city will no longer be a sanctuary for illegal alien criminals. We will have full, seamless, integrated cooperation at all levels of law enforcement, and we'll deploy officers across the district with an overwhelming presence. You'll have more police, and you'll be so happy because you'll be safe. When you walk down the street, you're going to see police, or you're going to see FBI agents. We're going to have a lot of agents on the streets. You're going to have a lot of essentially military, and we will bring in the military if it's needed, by the way.
But she says that she was not.
So that last thing the president said, they're bringing in the military if needed. That's in addition to the National Guard. He was flanked by Pete Hegseth during this announcement, who said at that press conference that they were more than ready to bring in active military into Washington, D.C. if they felt that that was absolutely necessary. The mayor, again, saying that she was not really prepared for this drastic a move, that she was anticipating that the president was going to mobilize the National Guard, but not go so far as to take over the D.C. Police Department, something he has been threatening, and we here at Channel 4 have been warning about since last year. During the campaign, the president has been making these threats, and today following through with one of the most drastic steps, a huge blow to home rule, to self-governance in Washington, D.C., and a warning that the president made to other big cities from Los Angeles to New York City that they could be next, and that they should be paying attention, and that they should be changing their laws now so that, in the president's words, that he and Congress don't have to. Mayor Bowser took hours after this press conference from the mayor before she appeared before reporters here in this room just moments ago with her response, again downplaying really the severity of this, but she did at the end acknowledge the kind of drastic results that could happen. Take a listen to what the mayor said at the end of her press conference.
I'm going to work every day to make sure it's not a complete disaster. What could be a disaster is if we lose communities who won't call the police. That could be a disaster. What will be a disaster if communities won't talk to the police if a crime has been committed and could help solve that crime. That could be a disaster. It would be a disaster if people who aren't committing crimes are antagonized into committing crimes. That would be a disaster.
How will this all unfold?
So still a lot of unanswered questions. The president made several remarks about removing homeless encampments and people experiencing homelessness, but no specificity from the White House or from the mayor about how that would actually be carried out and what that will actually look like, or even if the mayor locally is preparing for that. Again, as for the National Guard, an Army spokesperson tells NBC News that we can anticipate seeing them doing a number number of different functions, from logistics and administrative functions to actually having a presence in neighborhoods. We don't know if the National Guard will be armed. We don't even know if they'll be deputized by either D.C. Police or the U.S. Marshal Service. And we don't know how long the federal agencies can withstand and sustain their presence. You know, you take 500 FBI, DEA, Homeland Security agencies away from their normal day-to-day duties of investigating serious crimes and have them patrolling areas that they're not really trained for and they don't know local laws. That is just not something that can be sustained for the long term. So we're really going to have to wait and see how this plays out over the next days and weeks. The president can keep this emergency in effect with his unilateral decision for 30 days. Then he would need Congress's approval to continue it past 30 days. There's no reason to believe that this Republican House and Senate would not give the president the authority to extend this should he want to do that. So again, this is an historic day, not just for Washington, D.C., but for the entire country. We've never seen a president take this kind of action in local jurisdictions ever before, and so we're really all kind of figuring this out as we go. But from watching the mayor's press conference, it's clear that they too are unsure of how this is going to work, and the mayor really trying to downplay the severity of this to try to, in one, reassure citizens, because if you look on social media, you see a lot of the reaction from residents here in D.C. They're very scared. There's a lot of misunderstanding about what the president is doing. And so there's just a lot of uncertainty in the city tonight.
Yeah, and it's hard for the mayor to react, Mark, because she got this in real time, kind of just like the rest of us did. And timelines are going to become so important here, right? You know, you mentioned 30 days. That's where we start. It's 30 days from this point, and then if the president presumably wants to go beyond that, he can extend it?
That's correct. He would need to go to Congress and get a resolution from Congress in order to do that. Congress will be back in early September, so they'll be back within that 30-day time period. But Chairman Comer, the chairman of the House Oversight Committee, already put out a statement today, very supportive of what the president has done, saying that he's going to have a hearing in September with both the mayor, the chairman of the D.C. Council, and the district's attorney general to talk about crime in the District of Columbia.
All right, our Mark Segraves with a lot to get to. Mark, thank you so much. We'll check back in with